Well, folks, the tax extension deadline may have passed a couple of weeks ago, but for millions of Americans, the real trouble is just beginning. If you missed the October 15th deadline or you owe back taxes, the IRS is ramping up enforcement against you. Believe it. Believe it every single day. You wait only makes things worse. And here's the harsh reality. The IRS can charge a penalty of up to 5% per month, up to 25% of your total tax bill just because you didn't file. That's in addition to what you already owe. The good news, there's still time for Tax Network USA to help. Self-employed or a business owner, no problem. Even if your books are cooked and are a mess, they got you covered. Tax Network USA specializes in resolving financial chaos and getting you back on track fast. With tools like property seizures, bank levies, and wage garnishments, the IRS is applying massive pressure at levels we haven't seen in years. It's not too late to regain control. Your consultation is 100% free. Yep, free. In one short call and a few simple questions, the experts at Tax Network USA can determine how much you can save. Call this number, 1-800-905-8000, 1-800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com/RAV. Let Tax Network USA help before the IRS makes their move on you next. Ready? Chucky Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and the rest of the Democrat gang of useless politicians who hate America really thought that their government shutdown was going to curry favor among Americans who clearly can't stand their politics on the left. But as polling shows, this is yet another serious backfire for the party of stupid, and it's not even over yet. Sweeter it is when it's on CNN too. Watch.
It hasn't. If anything, it's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at is, well, hey, why should we give, and electorally speaking, when our brand has actually improved a little bit?
Yeah, you want further proof? Mike Johnson this morning was on all the networks saying that they have a framework in place. They're just waiting for the Democrats to come and vote on it and negotiate on it. They got all 53 Republican Senate votes ready to go. They just need 7 Democrats to say, you know what, time to open the government. But they seem to not want to do that. It's always surprising when someone like CNN's Jake Tapper has no choice but to turn on his favorite party, the Democrats. Everyone knows that they're forcing this government shutdown to continue just because it's the only leverage they think they have over Trump. We know that because, well, they've said so themselves.
Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Frankly, this is our only moment of leverage. And although a very unpleasant tool to use,
that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. They've just said it on television that they're using the government shutdown to have leverage over Republicans. What that really means is leverage over Trump. Several of the Democrats have admitted this on the air. In fact, calling Tapper, at least give him credit for calling it out.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their tactics.
The White House. Well, this is a choice by the White House.
This is also, Congresswoman, this is also a choice by Senate Democrats to not vote to open the government. Yes, it is.
Good for you, Jake. Sometimes, the blind squirrel finds a nut, as they say. Meanwhile, Jake Tapper wasn't having it when Katie Miller, wife of, Stephen Miller, pointed out the truth about Karine Jean-Pierre, KJP, that no matter what KJP says or does, KJP always seems to feel the need to play identity politics in order to somehow justify all of her many failures.
She used to be a commentator on CNN, then she was one on MSNBC. Mm-hmm. And she was good at that. I'm without getting into the job I thought she did as press secretary. I thought it didn't seem crazy to me because she was eloquent as a commentator.
Why is she trained every 4 sentences to say she is a black, queer, LGBTQ woman? Because that's how she's been promoted her entire career.
Anyway, Katie Miller and Karen Finney, thank you so much.
He didn't have it. He didn't want to hear any of that. That, by the way, was Katie Miller, Stephen Miller, the deputy chief of staff for policy of the White House, one of the most powerful human beings on the planet. That was Katie Miller. He wanted no part of it. Barack Obama just can't help himself either. He's going to make sure that opposing voices are censored in America if it's the last thing he does, since we all know that he was probably the one running the show during the Biden presidency, he or Jill. Here he's trying to get yet another time to put a system in place that silences opinions that he and his comrades don't approve of.
Part of what we're going to have to do is to start experimenting with new forms of journalism and how do we use social media in ways that reaffirm facts, separate facts from opinion. We want diversity of opinion. We don't want diversity of facts. That, I think, is one of the big tasks of social media. By the way, it will require some government, I believe, some government regulatory constraints.
Okay, former President Obama, let's ask you this. Was it fact or opinion that Joe Biden was unfit for office, certainly the last 2 years of his presidency? I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it's opinion, but we now know it's fact. If this doesn't disqualify Jon Stewart as an important media cultural figure, I don't know what will. Here is Stewart talking to the Democrat Party's new god, Zohran Mamdani, the socialist. The comparison he makes here is so appalling, but then again, it's Jon Stewart. Listen.
I wish you all the best. Honestly, I think any New Yorker who looks at someone getting an opportunity, who's representing communities that have not been as represented, a Muslim, a young person, a progressive, a democratic socialist, there are so many different communities that are looking to you. And this, I hate to put it on you, as a bit of a Jackie Robinson.
Okay, Jon Stewart. Okay, New Yorker Jon Stewart. Just wait till that guy's, he's going to be mayor, folks. He's going to be the mayor of New York City. Just wait until your taxes get raised. Just wait till he says, you know what, we're going to start talking about Sharia law because, we got to take care of the Muslim community here. Right? Just wait and watch the exodus out of New York to places like my home state of Florida now. Please just keep your New Yorkers there, please. In case anyone was wondering what's going on in the New Jersey race for governor, the Democrat candidate, Mikey, not even sure, wants to make absolutely sure that schools in New Jersey have a mandatory LGBTQ curriculum, also known as grooming our kids.
I believe that parents have the right to oversee their children's education. I would push an LGBTQ education into our schools. Parents have a right to opt out of a lot of things, but this is not an area where they should be opting out, because this is an area of understanding the background of people throughout our nation. And right now we see, for example, at the Naval Academy, an erasure of history.
Steve Sweeney.
Here's the point. I mean, vote blue no matter who. That's what they do. No matter if they almost just wrecked the country over the last 4 years, grooming our kids to force feeding them on gay pride parades, trans agendas, allowing kids to go across children to go across state lines against their parents' consent to go get life-altering surgeries and taking life-altering drugs for the rest of their life. It's insane. These people, this is what I'm saying. When Trump's gone, the pendulum is going to swing right back to them. They're just going to take it back. They've learned absolutely nothing, folks. All right, before we go, I'm going to say it one more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why? Because this guy right here that we're going to show that picture, that guy's on the edge tomorrow. This show is blowing the doors off of YouTube right now. That guy's on the edge. His name is Tristan Hamm. He's one of the biggest influencers of the world. He's an outdoorsman. He's riding a horse, shirt off. He's shooting with a bow and arrow. He's killing game. He's hanging out with bears in the water. And he's a professional boxer, undefeated heavyweight. He wants Jake Paul. He's calling out Jake Paul. He says he decked Kobe Covington. He says, Jake Paul, you're next. I got to tell you, hit that screen right here. Take the next one. Hit the screen right there with your camera. QR code. A camera will put up a little yellow thing on your screen. Hit that. You will subscribe. Thank you. Never be charged. It's always going to be free. You'll never be charged. And I appreciate you, your subscription, your viewership, and your support. Always appreciate you. All right, folks, we'll be back. 2.5 minutes.